appointed now. So I think we've got everybody. All right. Good afternoon. I'd like to call to order let's try that again. Good afternoon, everyone. I'd like to call to order the August 14th, 2023 Committee on Real Estate. Let's start things off with an invocation. Councilmember Shade, if you don't mind, please take it away.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Let us set about doing the will of the people of Charleston, and in so doing, let us be people of goodwill. We pray that the Lord will bless us and keep us. Let his face shine upon us and be gracious unto us. The Lord look upon us kindly and give us peace. Amen.
All right, thank you. First item on the agenda is the approval of the July 17th, 2023 minutes. Can I get a motion?
So moved. Second.
Moved and properly seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. It's unanimous. First item up is an authorization for the mayor to execute on behalf of the city of Charleston a commercial lease agreement with the Charleston Digital Corridor Foundation. And this is for the property over at 4 Conroy Street. And I see Melina has just turned her camera on. Please give us a little bit of background on this one if you don't mind. Thanks.
Yes, sir. So this is retail space. It's just over 1,000 feet of retail space located on the ground floor at the technical garage over on Conroy Street. And this space has been vacant for a little bit. It's not built out yet. The Charleston Digital Corridor has requested to use this space as their base of operations for the CDC Learning Lab. And what they would do in this space is they would offer classes focused on the tech field, help people with their certifications, and they also plan on offering classes for some smaller communities such as African-American community, the Hispanic community, and the autistic community to really focus on helping improve technological knowledge in the area. They'll be partnering with nonprofits and private organizations to help run this. This would be a 1-year lease agreement with the option of extending for 2 additional 1-year periods. It is a $1 lease, and they would be responsible for the upfit and the maintenance of that space. Any improvements to the space would be owned by the city after the termination of the agreement. I've met with Ernest Andrade, who would be running this. He's the head of the CDC, and he's very excited about this. It sounds like a great opportunity for the city to help out the community. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Great, thank you so much. Can we get a motion?
I move for approval, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
Moved and properly seconded. Any discussion, questions from staff? Mr. Mayor.
I probably don't need to convince anybody, but this is really a good thing. Ernest plans educational type use here. The space hasn't been utilized since the construction of the garage. The upfit will cost some considerable dollars to the digital corridor and so to the foundation. So it's really investment on their part. We've had a little bit of vandalism in the garage, to be honest with you, so it'd be nice to have some eyes on, you know, coming and going out of that space just for security purposes. So all around, it's a good thing.
Great. Any further questions or discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. The ayes have it. Next item up on the agenda is approval of an agreement between the city and the Coast Guard, and this is in connection with the aquarium garage and the pier next to the Maritime Center. Melina, is this in your
Yes, sir.
portfolio as well?
Yes, sir. This one's also me. So this would be a lease agreement with the United States Coast Guard. I would call it a renewal. It's been an agreement that we've had in place since the 90s, I believe. This would be a new lease agreement for a 1-year period, maximum of 10 years. They'd have the option to renew on an annual basis. During that time, what they're doing is they have range lights. There's one on top of the aquarium garage, one by the Maritime Center. And these range lights help with the safety and navigation of the channel. Everybody that I've talked with has been in high support of this to continue this relationship. I understand it serves a great safety navigational benefit to those people that use the channel, the ships. Happy to answer any questions.
I
Great.
move for approval, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
Moved and properly seconded. Any questions or discussion from the committee members?
Glad to keep them on.
All right.
Yes.
I'm all for safety and navigating the Charleston Harbor. We could be against that. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, the ayes have it. Next item up on the agenda is for the mayor to execute an agreement for the exchange of real property, and this is in connection with some land over at the corner of Wapu Road and Highway 17. And the property is owned by Whitegate LLC. And I am told that Eric Pullman has got some information for us that he's going to share.
Move for approval, Mr.
Yeah, I'm
Chairman.
gonna second that already. We've been working on this for a while. Good work, Eric.
Good.
All right. Julia, did you want me to pull up the attachments?
Yes, if you have them ready.
I can have them ready real shortly. So just give me 1 second here.
I got them if you need me to.
Mr. Chairman, while we're waiting, I'd like to welcome and recognize Ms. Limehouse, Andrea Limehouse, who's one of the principals of the property, and her excellent representation. Mr. Walker, thank you all for being with us today at our committee meeting, and thank you for this partnership.
All right, so this is going to be a short background on what we're attempting at this location. At current, the West Ashley Bikeway actually transects diagonally properties that the Limehouse family owns. They own this top area here where there used to be the Limehouse produce shed. It's now a gravel field and parking locations. And then they also own these two properties down here, which have a title loan building and then some duplexes. And this is from the DuPont Wapu Community Plan back in 2016, where we first started discussing with them the possibility to go ahead and start realigning, instead of it coming diagonally and splitting their property, realigning the bikeway down to Savannah Highway. What that will do is allow for the bikeway to have a much more visible presence on one of our major corridors, so that free publicity for how to navigate around the West Ashley area on bicycle. In addition to that, the Limehouse family then gets to have a contiguous property that eliminates two kind of substandard, they're very tight, small commercial lots compared to what most commercial entities are looking for. So they now get to have a much larger contiguous parcel. After 2016, and when we went into Plan West Ashley, we continued this idea into Plan West Ashley, where again, the bikeway coming diagonal would do two right angles and come up to Wapu Road that way. We did show two options, one where we were able to succeed in doing this, and one where it stays in its current configuration, which is coming straight down like that. So that this is coming right out of two very well supported community plans. This is the current iteration of the concept behind what we're attempting to do. Again, it's going to transfer land that right here currently is city owned. You can see now it will go to being commercially owned by the Limehouse family. And then we secured this roughly 50-foot area up in Savannah Highway and connecting us back up here behind where Wildflower Bakery is. And that's going to allow us to do 10-foot multi-use trail that's going to curve around and tie in, along with having a bikeway plaza right at the corner for increased visibility. And so that will also help when we're tying in with the project for the Savannah Highway capacity improvements. The part of that is going to actually be to connect the bikeway down Wapoo Road to the Greenway. And so this will really be kind of bookend between here and then on Wapoo Road where the Greenway is at. We can get two entry plazas that really call great attention and become community assets.
All right. Well, thank you, Eric. Anything further from staff before we dive into comments and questions?
Here, I'd just like to cover just the key terms of this agreement because there are some conditions prior to closing. Okay, so what this essentially does is gives city staff and the mayor the authority to negotiate the final terms of this deal. And then there's also some contingencies. We need to get a subdivision plat reviewed by staff and signed off. Then there will be an annexation of the two larger parcels into the city with a request that it be a zoned general business. Right now it's commercial, I believe, in the county. So that would be the comparable zoning. And then also, I'm so happy to report that the Limehouses have applied for and received demolition permits for the title loan building, the green building on the corner, as well as the two duplexes, I believe. I could be wrong on stating the duplexes. So that would be initiated soon after this deal is finalized with all the parties. And that's all I have.
Good deal. Thank you, Julia. And I saw Councilman Shade's hand go up. Certainly want to give him recognition at this time.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and appreciate the Trenum and the Limehouse family working with the city on this property. This intersection has been under a lot of discussion. Certainly do my tenure on city council since 2016. At one point, and somebody can correct me on this if I misstate this, but we were even thinking about putting the West Ashley's Farmers Market at this location at some particular point in time. And that predated the planned West Ashley and the West Ashley Revitalization Commission coming into play. And as Eric mentioned, there have been some other plans that we've been looking at as to the improvement of this intersection. And interestingly enough, Eric had this on the screen, but I just want to read this into the record. This is how Plan West actually comes into play with us as we continue the revitalization efforts of West Ashley. And he had bolded the subsection C. And this is really interesting. A land swap with the property owner here can ensure the connection to Savannah Highway is completed. Cyclists would continue along a trail on the north side of Savannah Highway and cross at the intersection. So, I mean, literally torn out of the page of Plan West Ashley is what we have contemplated here going on. And Julia and I, and Eric and I chatted earlier this morning because what she was describing to me set off some alarms in my mind thinking, wait a minute, I thought we already had this mapped out. And is this going to conflict with what we have been talking about? And in fact, after Eric had got me back on track, this is exactly what we've been talking about for the past several years. And this is going to have a huge improvement at a very busy intersection. And for your point of reference, committee members and those who are listening in, this is literally down the street from our fire station, the Superstore Fire Station Memorial. So what a better way to serve as a welcoming point of interest by improving this intersection at that location where we have our brand new fire station there as well. So there's a lot of positives involved in this coming into play, none of which is lost on me in particular, as the property will be annexed into the city. This is closing another donut hole into the area. It is so critical that we maintain this level of continuity in order to revitalize West Ashley. We can't do it alone without the cooperation of landowners like the Limehouse family, who is working with us on Plan West Ashley. So I would I hope I don't have to encourage anybody to vote for this, but I wanted to make sure we all knew where we were headed with this project and how this is going to have a huge impact on our revitalization efforts. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Absolutely. Thank you, Councilman Shade. Councilman Waring.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I too want to thank the Limehouse family, Mr. Walker, working with our legal team, certainly the mayor and Eric Pullman and team. I'm gonna tell you that I used to come to this property when I was a kid with my grandfather when it was the county market over there in the Limehouse. And it was a big thing. Jumped in my granddad truck, and a lot of commerce taking place over there. It almost felt like a cat on a hot tin roof with the big trucks coming and going and all. So I just really love to see this property come back to life again. And I mean, this is just such a win-win-win with what you all are trying to do, Ms. Limehouse, Mr. Walker, along with the city, beautifying some linear parks that are some of the best in the country. And we don't look at the Battery as being a linear park, but that's exactly what it is. Look at what's happening there. Look at what's the improvements that's happening on the Greenway, which is now going to allow this bikeway to tie in with the Greenway. In particular, when you couple it with the improvements that the county is going to make at this, it's really a treacherous intersection right now, Walpole and Savannah Highway. I mean, this is such a big win-win-win, and it took just as much, if not more, effort on the part of the Limehouses and their legal team as it has for our legal team to kind of pull this together. And to see some of West Ashley Plan West Ashley come off the book and on a shelf and come into reality, I just can't tell you, it's just awesome. So thank you so much for what you're all doing to help improve the community for all of us. So yeah, let's vote.
Good deal. Thank you, man. Thank you, Councilman Waring. Mr. Mayor.
I guess I'll just pile on and add my thanks to Mrs. Limehouse and her family, and reiterate that this, by combining their properties, allows a first-class development of their property where they're not divided. Right. And that's a big plus. Number one thing that Mrs. Limehouse and I agree upon is that corner building is probably the ugliest building in the city of Charleston, not just West Ashley, but the whole city. And we're going to have maybe break a bottle of champagne on it when we get the demo crew out there. Both Councilmember Waring and Eric's comments about the connectivity of bringing the bikeway and the Greenway together, this will really be the connection point. And to make it so visible and to widen that right of way to where we can almost make a little linear park feature out of it is really going to be a terrific addition. We welcome the property to the city. It's all good. It's a win-win-win, as you say, Councilmember Waring. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Call the question, Mr. Chairman.
This is great. I haven't seen a love fest like this on City Council in a while. This is, is this being recorded? This is wonderful.
Yeah, it is.
Hats off to the Limehouse family and everybody involved. This is wonderful. Let's do it. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none. The ayes have it. Thank you guys so much. Looking forward to the future in this very important part of West Ashley.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Thanks as always, Trenum. Next item up is a third amendment to a bargain sale agreement. And this is on property owned by Cato Ad Holdings LLC. And I've seen Matt appear on our screen. Matt, tell us a little bit about this one.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, as you mentioned, this is the third amendment to the bargain sale agreement. This is for property on Enterprise Drive. This is to replace the leased fire station that we have out on Pinefield Road that everyone is, I'm sure, is aware of. This amendment does four things. One, it extends the agreement out to December 29th. It clarifies some language on the city's support for the access road. What that is the original road was originally contemplated to be 4 lanes, which the city would contribute essentially to a 2-lane road. as the project has progressed, there's portions of it that are going to have additional turn lanes, making the road bigger. We wanted to make sure that the city wasn't having to contribute to that because it's outside the scope and the original vision, increasing our cost essentially. So it just clarifies that as the road gets bigger to 6 lanes, that it's not our responsibility to cover those costs. It provides a support of not to exceed $250,000 for construction costs associated with the Beresford Run intersection. And the last is site improvements. So our parcel is a little bit low. We're going to need to bring in some fill to raise it, grade it, and compact it. The developer is going to have to do some stormwater work. So they have agreed that as they dig those retention ponds, that if the soil is suitable, they will bring it over to our site free of charge. And then it can be compacted and graded to become a suitable build site for us thereafter.
I move for approval, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
All right, moved and properly seconded. Any further discussion on this? Councilman Gregg.
Yeah, I would just say if you haven't gotten over to Fire Station 20, it is one that you should probably take a look at. It's in pretty bad shape. Actually, Chief Courier took me over there last week. We really this is the first step in trying to get that Fire Station 20 replaced. It's pretty bad. I feel just appreciate our firefighters that go there every day. Certainly hope we can get this thing replaced and get them in better working conditions as soon as possible.
Understood. Just so I'm clear, when you say this is being replaced, are we moving, or is it just a new building is being built on the property?
The current fire station is on Pinefield Drive, and so the plan would be to tear that one down, or we are actually leasing that one and then move into this permanent city-owned facility.
Got it. Sounds great. Councilman Shade.
I think Councilman McGregor is being too kind in his description of that fire station. It is. And if you haven't been out there, I just want to echo, you really do need to take a look at that. So anything we can do to promote this, speed this process up, let's get it done. So.
Good deal. We've got a motion on the floor, moved and properly seconded. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. It's unanimous. Thank you, Mr. Froelich, and help is on the way. Next item up is a authorization for the mayor to execute a temporary license and access agreement with James Island Charter High, and this is for the use of the pool at the James Island Rec Center. And see,
Move for approval, Mr.
Lori
Chairman.
is on the thing here.
I am on the call. Thank you, Councilmember Appel. Any questions about this, I'm happy to answer. But basically, this is an agreement that would allow James Island Charter High School to swim on James Island with their high school team this fall. They could practice when the pool would not be open between 5 and 7 p.m. That's a seasonal pool. And so they're going to supply their own lifeguards. And we were able to cut the price to $5,000 for their use of this, which is about $2,500 cheaper than they paid last year when they used St. Andrews. So we're all real happy with this. It keeps the James Island high school kids on James Island, and we've worked out a way to let them use it at a very affordable price.
Great.
Let me ask a question, Mr. Chairman. Ms. Yarbrough, are we eventually going to put a bubble or something on that pool so you can use it year round?
That's absolutely been discussed. I don't know if bubble is the right word, but some type of permanent structure. That's absolutely, that's a great need on James Island. 45,000 people in the town and the county not having any pool there. We're the only shop there. So yes, sir, we do hope to make that pool permanent, or a permanent pool at some point there on James Island.
Got it. All right. I see the mayor's hands up.
I was just going to add, I think that's one of the proposed improvements from our Parks and Recreation Master Plan that hopefully with the assist of our referendum this fall, we'll be able to move forward with.
Great. Yeah, I know W.L. Stevens is on there. I thought that was
yes, sir.
James Allen was on as well. Thank
You. I'm not sure if we ever got a second to Councilman
Second.
Guerrero's motion.
Second.
Now the motion to approve is moved and properly seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. It's unanimous. Thank you, Ms. Yarborough.
Thank you, sir.
All right.
All the annexations to be approved, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
All right, we've got a motion to take all 5 annexations up together. It appears that these are all residential. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. The ayes have it. That brings us to the close of our meeting. I think right at the 30-minute mark. Anything else for the good of the order? All right. Well, thanks for everybody's time, staff, colleagues, everybody else. And we'll see you on Public Works and City Council tomorrow.
Great.
Yeah.
Thanks, everybody. Bye.